So the first question of this week is, why do we want to teach our babies anything at all at this age, right? So the age group that we are talking about is of course 0 to 3 years. To answer this question, let me ask you this. Suppose you as an adult male or adult female, if you were in your house all day long with the comfort of your environment, your house, your home, well fed, well rested, all the comforts, right? But with nothing to do, You have nothing to do, no sort of work, no job. How would you feel? Would it be enough to be just comfortably alive? No, right? You would get frustrated, you would get bored out of your mind, right? With no sense of purpose in life, right? That is because all of us, the entire human race, need this desire, sense of purpose, right? We need to do something, we need to crave something, whether it's love, whether it's happiness, whether it's just some goals, some ambitions. And it's the same with our babies as well. When babies are born, they're born so helpless and vulnerable, right? They're not able to do anything on their own. And they're so dependent on their parents for all of their needs, right? They have a deep craving, deep desire to become independent, to become like their parents and to be able to do things on their own, right? And when we say that you should spend 5 minutes a day with your baby, teaching them, helping them develop their abilities, this is the craving, this is the desire that we are fulfilling in our babies. And they will have that sense of purpose because they look forward to spending those 5 minutes, 5 prodigy minutes with you, their parent, and they will enjoy the playtime activities that you do, but also learn and grow and develop all of their mental and physical and creative abilities in the process. So I hope that answers your question. We are not here to put any sort of stress or pressure on our babies or on our parents, right? We don't have to stress out at all. We are not here to meet any milestones or goals or any sort of checklist. What we want to do is we want to encourage all parents to spend 5 minutes a day with their babies to fulfill their own baby's deepest desire to be able to learn and develop and grow, and it takes only 5 minutes a day. Okay guys, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so the next question that we have for this week is, what skills should you focus on for your 0 to 2-year-old baby? The first thing that we want to talk about is athleticism, right? Or the physical ability. Physical ability has 4 different types: strength, stamina, stability, and skills. And we want to focus on all 4, right? So for our babies, what we want to do is, first of all, develop the physical body, the physical abilities, right? And the first thing in physical abilities is mobility. We want our babies to start crawling and start walking as fast as possible. Some of our babies at Raising Superstars start crawling at even 3 months of age and start walking by the age of 8.5 to 9 months. Now, what are the advantages of being able to move as early as that? When your baby starts to move, when your baby becomes mobile, right, it gives a huge boost of confidence to them. So because they feel that they are now becoming more independent and therefore less dependent on adult supervision and on their parents. So it's a huge confidence booster, but also along with that, it's also great exercise because it develops all parts of their body, all the muscles in the body. So when they're crawling, when they're walking, they're exercising all parts of their body, right? And it also helps them expand their lung capacity. When the lung capacity expands, they take in more oxygen. When they take in more oxygen, the heart pumps more oxygenated blood into their brains, and it also stimulates their brain as well. So it's all connected, and it all starts with athleticism and mobility, right? So what we want you to do is to first of all focus on physical abilities of your baby. Once you have done that, once you are able to put together a program, a framework on how you want to develop your baby's physical abilities, then you can move on to lots of other stuff like music, creativity, languages, reading, math, etc., etc. We can also teach personality and character traits in our young babies, that's all possible. But these are the things that you would do. And of course, if you are interested in knowing how to do them, it's a detailed process. It's a step-by-step system that you can follow with us as well. If you would like to learn more, please click on the link below to sign up for one of our programs where we teach you in a detailed done-for-you system in 5 minutes every day what you can do with your baby. Okay, now moving on to the next question. The next question that we have here is, what is the difference between CaveLOIs and ModLOIs? So at Raising Superstars, we differentiate languages of intelligence into two parts, right? So the caveman languages of intelligence and the modern languages of intelligence. And what do we mean by that? So the caveman languages of intelligence are those aspects of our intelligence which has always been there with our human race, right? So for the last 200,000 years, it has always been there. It does not need to be learned. It does not need any sort of teaching. You would learn it in the natural course of things. So what are those things? So things like your physical abilities, right? So you would start to walk even if if nobody taught you how to do that. The ability to make music, right? So the ability to bang with a stick and a stone, and you start banging and you create some sort of a beat, right? Or the ability to paint on walls. You could take some colored pigments and you could paint on the wall, and that is an ability that you don't necessarily need to go to a school for. So those are things that even our ancestral cavemen, they also knew, right? So those are the CaveLOIs in the Raising Superstars framework. And what do we mean by ModLOIs? ModLOIs are the modern languages of intelligence, those which you need to be taught, those that you need to learn. So what are these things? These are the spoken language. So whether you speak English or you speak Hindi or you speak Mandarin or any other language, that's something that you would not necessarily learn on your own unless you have been taught that, right? So the spoken word, the written word, right? So the ability to write in a script, that is something which is a modern language of intelligence. The ability to write music and read music. So the technical aspects of music, whether it's chords or scales, those are man-made, those are man-defined, and those again need to be learned, right? So that's the third thing. The fourth thing is mathematics, the beautiful language of mathematics. That is again something that needs to be learned, and it's not something that you would be born with, right? And of course, the language of photographs and videography, right? So in today's world, videography and photography have become so important, and they capture the physical world exactly how we see it from our eyes, right? And that is again something which is part of our ModLOIs. So that's the difference between the CaveLOIs and the ModLOIs, the caveman languages of intelligence and the modern languages of intelligence. And of course, both are super important for our babies because they develop and stimulate different parts of their brains, and they develop different parts of their abilities and skills as well. At Raising Superstars, we focus on both, and in our 5-minute-a-day programs, we mix and match different activities to stimulate both CaveLOIs and ModLOIs. So those are the questions for this week, and now let's move on to our next segment where we will be talking to one of our super parents, and let's see how her parenting journey has been like.